Hello guys, welcome back to Selenium with Java June 2023 batch online training session 8. So as of 7 session, I mostly covered the standalone Selenium WebDriver functionality as well as basic and advanced Java. Hope you enjoyed the session. So in case you are having any doubt, do the practice, go through the PDFs here, go through the sample code and go through the video once more, right? And if any question is coming, let me know, we can discuss offline. So in today's session, I'll be starting the framework part. So I already told, right? Initial days, I'll be starting with like A, B, C, D. And once you understand thoroughly the A, B, C, D part, then we'll be going to slowly developing the kind of maybe sentence. Here in this next 2008 and 9, you'll be learning how to create a sentence, like how you are doing that kind of stuff. You'll be able to know with some added advantage. And then in the last three sessions you will be knowing about, right, how to write the code for a pages or how to develop a book slowly. So that is the way I'll be proceeding. So in today's session I'll be starting with TestNG. So I'll be covering what is TestNG all about and how to install the TestNG step by step guide, and what are the TestNG annotation, how to enable or disable a test, how to set the test case priority and how to do the sequential execution, what is hard and soft assertion in TestNG, means how we can add the verification point using TestNG, what is the importance of depends on method, always run, invocation count, invocation timeout, skip fail invocation attribute in TestNG, and how we can run multiple, right, classes at the same time in using TestNG. So as of now you already seen the standalone functionality, right? So you can create a class, right? It can be Java class definitely, and in the class you can write 100 line of code. But the same thing will be treated as a single test cases. But in case you want to differentiate this 100 test, line of code into 5 or 6, that might not be feasible, because the problem is that whenever you are going to the Eclipse here, right, everything is starting from the main method, and all the code right in the main method will be considered as single test case. But in case my objective is to write like to verify different 5 functionality, I want to write granular level, I want to break them, but that kind of functionality is not possible for the like Java class, and it will be treated as single test case. In case something is getting failed, right, your execution will be stopped there, maybe remaining line of code execution might be not progress. So that are the stuff I do not want in the real time. Instead of that, right, I want to have multiple test cases very granular level. I want to create the reusable component, I want to call the reusable component multiple times. Apart from that, I also want to generate some beautiful report, right? At the end of the day, whether you are doing is a manual testing or automation testing or API testing, you need to share your like status, means whatever execution you have done, whether it's about how many pass fail, right, all this stuff along with the statistics you need to publish to the respective stakeholder. But that is might not be possible here, right, in the normal standalone way. So that is the reason we need to take help from some sort of framework. So TestNG is already right, a kind of proven framework where a lot of functionality is still there, but down the line we will be creating our own framework, but we can use TestNG or JUnit, that not be a problem. So what is TestNG? Test, where NG stand for next generation. So testing next generation is a JUnit inspired open source automated testing framework providing several features like data-driven testing, parameterization support, different utility, annotation, and test case grouping, which aid in creating robust and powerful testing project. So TestNG did not started, but initially JUnit came into the market where a lot of features was there. Primarily JUnit used by the developer for the unit testing, but nowadays we will be using JUnit also for the BDD framework down the line. So after JUnit came into the market, the TestNG like on the developed on the top of JUnit with some added features, and TestNG support different kind of testing like functional end-to-end integration testing, where JUnit primarily cover the unit testing, but as mentioned, JUnit also you can use for the BDD Cucumber framework also for the functional testing. So using TestNG, user can generate a proper report. User can easily identify how many test case passed, failed, skipped. In case user need to execute the failed test case separately, it is also possible to execute. Suppose say I'm just giving a simple example. So you are having, right, 20 test case developed. or maybe say 100 test cases develop. And whenever you are running, you need to run all the test cases at the same time, right? You cannot run one by one, it will be time consuming. So what will be running all the test cases, and maybe after running 100 test cases, there are 20 test cases failed and 80 test cases passed. But in case next time, even if you want to run them, right, you have to run 100 test cases again, and it will be time consuming process again. Next time maybe like another 25 test cases fail. But failure is not always right because of some defect. It can be some internal failure like synchronization issue, your network connectivity got stopped, or other issue, right, some failure, all this stuff happen. So right, I don't want to like spend the effort for the test case whatever already passed. So instead of that, I want to run only the failed test cases. So TestNG is having the feature to run only the failed test case only, so that I can run them couple of number of times, I can give the iteration, so that way I can save the effort, overall effort. So why TestNG is useful primarily whenever you are working with Selenium WebDriver. The TestNG framework can be easily integrated with different tool like Maven, which is called build management tool, and I will be covering in the last session what is Maven, how you can create a Maven project, and Jenkins, which is a CI/CD tool. Generate the report in proper format, including the number of test cases run, passed, failed, skipped, all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, after execution is happening, right, you need to publish the report to the respective stakeholder, so that right you can generate some report using TestNG, but still you can update the report for the better report. There are a lot of things available, right? You can generate external report. There is a report ng. There are other report, Alio report, all this stuff. But yeah, TestNG and external report will be fine to start your journey. And then in case your organization or your customer demanding any kind of report, that can be later point of time that can be done. Okay. So multiple test cases can be grouped more easily by converting them into the TestNG.xml file, in which you can make priority which test case should be executed first. So why grouping is required? Say you are having 100 test cases, but whenever you want to run, right, sometime you can run 100, but not always you need to run 100 test cases again and again and again. So you can segregate the test cases based on the testing type, maybe like smoke or regression, integration, end to end, UAT, like that. And you can also segregate the test case based on the application, right? In case you are having a 5 application, so like test cases, few of the test cases may be for a specific application, few of the test cases might be for different application as well. So once your segregation is done, grouping is done, right, then based on the group type, right, group name, you can only run those impacted test cases by filtering out the group. So that is another added advantage available in the TestNG. I will be covering in the so that you can understand how you can do the grouping, all this stuff. Same test case can be executed multiple times without loop just by using keyword called invocationCount attribute. So suppose say especially for the test data creation part, you need to execute same test case again and again and again 20 times, 30 times, like that. You need to create the data. So what you can do in TestNG, only one test case you can just give the invocation count equal to 30, so that it will be executed 30 times. Using TestNG, user can execute multiple test cases on different browser. It can be supported cross-browser testing. Annotation, different annotations are used. It can be used like before method, after method, before test, after test. That will be covered here. TestNG simplifies the way the tests are coded. There is no need to use the public static void main method. That is the one of the added advantage. You no need to use that public static void main method. The sequence of action is regulated by easy to understand annotation that do not require method to be static. And sometimes some of the exceptions can be handled easily. And TestNG also supported, right, different kind of assertion or verification point. So what are the assertions? So in case whenever you are automating, your objective is not to automate or maybe step by step navigation or page by page navigation. No. So you will be having some validation point based on your test case. Like you need to validate that some of the field is having disable, enable, or it is like a text field or radio button, all this stuff. After that, in case you are entering some value, right, some of the new field might be coming, all this stuff, right. Also in case you are entering something, some new code number might be generating, right, after submitting some form, right, some code number might be generating. So these are the kind of stuff you need to validate, and so that is the way, right, you need to add some assertion, so that, right, it will be passed or failed. That in case your assertion is failing, test case will be passed. In case assertion is passing, test case will be failed. Run test case in parallel. So already mentioned, right, whenever you will be using TestNG, there will be TestNG.xml file through which you can do the like parallel or distributed testing. Maybe same test case you can repeat it multiple browser, right? And even also you can also like in case you are 100 test case, maybe 10 test case you can run in Chrome, 20 test case you can run in Firefox. That is the way also possible. The make test case dependent on another. So that is the added advantage, one of the important advantage of TestNG. Suppose I am giving a simple example. So suppose say you want to automate the e-commerce site, any e-commerce site, be Flipkart or Amazon, right, like that. So what are the primary steps? So first you need to open the log page URL and then you need to give your ID password and need to log in. That is your first step. Second step, you need to search the product, right, and the size, then you will be adding the product to the cart. Third, after the product your validation is done, right, size is available, then you will be making the payment, right. Then in case some problem happen, then you return the product also, and again the same process will be happening like that. But in case say your login is not working or product is not available, so there is no point of going to the right payment part because your product is not there. Maybe product was there, but right, maybe all product got sold. So those are the thing you can make as a dependent. So in case you want to make the payment, so you can make something dependent that your login should be successful, your account is still valid, and product should be retrievable with the proper size. So then only you can make the payment. So in case your like login is not happening, so immediately your thing will be fail, and remaining test case wherever login search will be there, instead of failing you can simply make them skip so that you no need to spend the time on execution. So you know that your dependency is getting failed, so whatever test case depending on that method will be automatically skipped instead of failed. Then prioritizing the test. So what is the required? Okay, suppose here we will be not be using right the main method, and we will be using right n number of test case in a single class. Okay, but your execution will be starting based on the alphabetical order. Suppose say you have written a method for login, then for product search, then for the payment, right, then from the returning, all this stuff. But in case it is going for the alphabetical order, right, sometime it might get fail because it will go for the alphabetical order. So instead of that, you can give some ordering in case to avoid the failing. You can give the ordering as login would be 1 and then your searching will be 2, right? So that automatically it will go for based on the order instead of the alphabetical way. So that is the way you can prioritize the test. Grouping of test cases, I already mentioned that you can group the test case based on the testing type, based on the application, then you can filter out the execution and you can run them right based on the grouping. Then two more, another aspect is called data driven testing and parameterization. Sometime interviewer also will be asking the question in TestNG, what is the difference between data driven testing and the parameterization? So what is parameterization? Means you will be having some parameter and you will be having some value for the parameter, but using the same parameter you will be having multiple test cases. Try to understand, guys. So parameters means only couple of parameter, but those same parameter you will be using in n number of test cases, so that based on the value, or in case you are changing the value one time, automatically it will affect all the test cases. Means using a single parameter you can have n number of test cases. So that is called parameterization. And what is data driven testing? That is something called vice versa way. Okay, so you will be having single test cases, but single test case you want to run with different variety of the data. Okay, suppose say you want to search the product, that test case you want to execute. You want to execute suppose say ladies jeans for one product, like kid jeans, men's top, right, or kid sweater, like kid shoe, like that is the way. So same thing product search you are running with different variety of the data. But what is parameterization, right? Suppose say you want to search men jeans, right, in different test cases. Maybe one is Amazon, one is Flipkart, one is other, right, Mintra, like that. But your objective is to search men jeans. That is your parameter. And you are having different site. That means your different test case. That is called parameterization. Where data driven testing means you want to search, maybe you want to execute the search testing, or you want to log in it with different credential. So means same test case you are executing with different variety of the data. Whereas parameterization means you are executing multiple test case with same input or same parameter. Then reporting, I already mentioned, TestNG will be providing you some sort of report, right, which will be giving you HTML format report, and it can be also configurable as well using different listener. So what is the difference or maybe the primary key advantage of TestNG with JUnit? So compared to JUnit, TestNGs are very easy to understand. TestNG allow user the grouping of test case easily, which is not possible in JUnit. TestNG support the additional attribute, right? Additional setup like called before after shoot, before after test, before after group, which is not available in JUnit. TestNG does not need to extend any class. In TestNG, it is possible to run Selenium WebDriver test case in parallel, where it is not possible in JUnit. Based on the group, TestNG allow user to execute the test case. Grouping is not available in JUnit. TestNG allow user to determine the dependency of the test cases, right? Each test case can be autonomous or can be dependent on another test case as well, which is not possible in that JUnit. So how to install TestNG? So that is the first part. So you can create any project. After that you can create src file and the package. So in the same project I will be trying to implement the TestNG. So what you need to do, you need to go to the help, and there is an option called Eclipse Marketplace. So that is already mentioned in my PPT also, Eclipse Marketplace. Then here, once you open the Eclipse Marketplace, right, it might take couple of second time to couple of minute time also. Then there will be search button. Here you need to simply search TestNG. Okay, here simply need to search TestNG and click on the search button, right, enter. Okay, so it's already installed in my system. That is the reason you could see it is already installed. So in case it is installed, it will be, so go to the install tab, right? You could be having whatever installed in your Eclipse. That is one time activity. It can be installed at the Eclipse level. Okay, after that you no need to install. So in case and you want to create any project, you can also update it, uninstall it, or change it also from the install one is installed. And after installation you need to restart the Eclipse. So it is already done in my system. I am not installing it again. So you need to restart your Eclipse. So that will be available, right, in your Eclipse. After that you can create n number of project and you no need to install it again and again. So this is one time activity, right, best for your Eclipse. Next, yeah, is it fine now? Yeah, that part you did not heard, complete installation part. Yeah, so you can go to the help and you can go to the Eclipse Marketplace and you can type TestNG here in the search button. So that will be available and you simply need to click on the install. So once it is installed, it will be available here in the install tab. So it is only one time activity. You need to install it. And after installation, you can also update, change and uninstall it also from here, from the install tab. So it is only one time activity. You can install it at the Eclipse level. Is it clear now? Yeah, so those are stopped already, and after that you need to restart your Eclipse. So that is the one time activity. You need to just go with the TestNG. Okay, then you need to write set the TestNG to your project. So what you need to do, you need to go to the project and then you need to right click here and then you need to go to the properties and then you need to go to the Java build path. So here you already know, right? In case you are clicking on the add external jars, you could able to add all the jar file. But TestNG is a library, not the jar file. Please be remember, TestNG is a library, not the jar file. So you need to click on the add library button. And here you could see as TestNG is installed. So TestNG is showing as a library options and you can click on the next button and then you can click on the simply finish. Now TestNG you could see is added as a library just like the Java library. So and apply and close. So TestNG installation is one time activity and TestNG association to your project is also one time activity. একটু একটু আস্তে করতে পারবে? একটু আস্তে করো গো, ট্রেনিং চলছে, একটা কথা শুনতে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে না তো। না বন্ধ করলে নেট আসবে না তো, প্রবলেম তো এটাই। Okay, so that is the only one time activity you need to do. After that you could see TestNG is already associated. How you can understand? You could see here TestNG is already added to your project. So TestNG is a library just like the Java library. It is not a jar file, guys. Okay, then what you need to do? So I have installed TestNG, I have added TestNG library to my project. Then I will be creating TestNG class instead of the Java class. Okay, you can create the Java class as well and TestNG will be added, but now I'll be creating the TestNG class. So how I can create it? So in the package, simply I'll go and right click, and instead of new Java class, right, I'll be selecting new, and I'll be selecting here other. Okay, and here I'll be typing TestNG. You could see in the TestNG folder TestNG class is there. So you can click on next button, and here you can give the name, say today's session 8, right, session 8, and you can click on the finish button. Okay, so you could see the differences as and when you are creating a TestNG class. So that is the way automatically your some method is getting created, and add the test annotation is also getting added. And now you can change the method name. Suppose say I am changing the method name called test1. Okay, and here I can give the body, say output for test 1 method. Okay, now you could see there is no public static void main method, right? If you see, normally whatever we have created, there is a public static void main method, and your execution is starting from the public static void main method, but here no requirement. But whenever you are creating a Java class, right, so you could see whenever you want to run it, you are getting the option called run as Java application, right? But here, okay, in case you want to run in TestNG class, what option you'll be getting? You right click here, you'll be getting the option called TestNG test, not the Java application, and you run it and click on OK. So it will be similar way it will be running it. Now you could see the difference here. You could see output get executed, and you could see here test 1 got passed. It is letting you know whether the test case got passed or failed, like that. And you could see that is the default test run, total number of run 1, failure 0, skip 0, right? And this is also same way, passed 1, fail 0, 0. And if you go to the next tab, result of running TestNG class 8, you could see here the result, right? The default shoot, default test, and this is called package name dot the class name, and this is called method name. What is the time and how many test cases got executed, what is the status. In case something is getting failed, you can get it in the fail tab, and the summary tab also you can get the holistic picture, how many class executed, how many method executed. And now you let's try to refresh your project. Right click and refresh it, and you could see as and when you refreshing, test output folder got generated, which was not in the normal Java class. Now if you expand it, test output folder, and there are a lot of options created, right? And there is another option called emailable HTML report. Select that report, right click, and open with web browser, and you could see some sort of beautiful report will be generated by TestNG itself. You could see, right, this one test case passed and total time spent, there is no failure, right? And what is the package name, what is the class name, what is the method name also. So that is the way it will be giving you some sort of result. I will fail some test case also, and also I will generate the report. Slowly down the line you will be getting to know the different aspect or different important behavior of TestNG. Okay, I will take a pause, guys, as of now. Any questions we will discuss. After that I will go to the remaining topics. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll letting you know, because for that one we need to convert the project to the TestNG. Okay, that part I will be doing it in the last of the today's session. Okay, we can convert the normal project. Okay, so there is an option, even you can create a Java project, not be a problem, and you can convert the whole project to the TestNG. There is an option, right? TestNG convert to TestNG, so that automatically you can use the existing class also after converting into TestNG. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can convert the normal Java class to the TestNG also. So convert possible also. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? Okay. So there are a lot of annotations. So what is annotation? A annotation is a tag or metadata which provide additional information about the class, interface or method in TestNG. Annotations are used to keep the structure of the test classes. This annotation invoke the methods according to the invocation time. So there might be lot of annotations. So it will be supporting your test cases. But only at the rate test annotation will be considered as a test case. But other annotation will not be considered as a test case. These are the precondition or the post condition for your test case. So annotation can be class level, can be suit level, can be test level, can be method level also. Okay, so before class this annotated method will run every only once before every method, sorry, every class. Similar after class, like before method after method will be executed every method before and after. Before test, after test will be executed, right, for every test method. Similarly before shoot after shoot will be executed for only one time, right. You will be having a shoot will be only one time. So these are the different annotations we can use. Let's try to implement those annotations. Let's try to create one more test case also. Okay, so I can keep, so your method name should be unique always, otherwise it will throw the error. So this will be called as a test cases. I can create one more test case also. So you can change the output, right? But these are the test cases. Now here I can give some annotation, right? Suppose say I can give something called at the rate before shoot. Okay, that is the annotation, and here I can create something, the method my relevant based on my requirement, say before shoot. Okay, so output for before shoot method. So you need to implement their annotation here from the TestNG. Similarly you can go with the after shoot. Here you can change the method name called after shoot. Here it will be after shoot. Okay, you need to import it. So these are the helping hand, right? So you can use them, but these are not the test cases. So similar way you can go with the, right, before class. One second. So before class, here you can go with the before class. I need to import it again from the testing. This is the annotation from the TestNG, and I can go with the before test, before method, all this stuff. Okay, next another go with the before method, after method also. So again it will be before method. Okay, So now that is the way I have given some of the annotation, right? And but these are my test cases. Now let's try to run it and let's see what is the impact. So now this will be considered as a test cases. Okay, you could see total 3 run, 3 failure, but there are a whole lot of right test cases here. I mean annotations available, but those annotations will not be treated as a test cases. Only wherever at the rate test annotation is there, those will be considered as a test cases, and these are the annotations or metadata, right, will be helping the test cases accordingly to run should level, test level, other way. You could see, so should level will be executed only one time, and class level also will be executed at the class level. In case you are want to run multiple class, then every class will be executed, and before method, after method will be executed for every method. You could see before method executed, again your output for the test method executed, again after method executed, right? Again after method, again before method, again test 2, again after method, again before method, again test 2, and again after method. So that is the way it will work, and then your test case got executed, and at the last, right, it will be your before after shoot. Now if you go here, you could see here summary, one class executed, 3 method executed, and here if you go to the alt shoot, right, you could see this is the test 1, test 2, test 3 method executed from the training package session 8 class. Now if you refresh here again project, and again go to the test output folder, right, and there is an option called emailable report HTML. Just open with web browser, you could see the difference. So total 3 test case fast, total time spent, right, this is the testing. You can click here like that in case it is going to the next page, right, and you can get to know. In case it is failed, you can get to know the failure reason also. I'll be letting cover it down the line slowly. Okay, that is the way annotations will be there. But what is the annotations sequence? So before shoot, then before test, before class, before group, before method, then your test case will come, then after method, after group, after class, after test, after shoot. That is the thing, you can remember it for the TestNG annotation. Those way your TestNG annotation will work. No, we can run anywhere. It anywhere, even after the, it will based on the tag name, right, based on the, sorry, based on the uh, annotation, it will be, yeah, based on the annotation name, it will be whatever way we are writing, that does not matter, same way it will work. Okay. No, test output folder will be created automatically, na, you no need to create. As soon as you will be running the session only, then it will be created. You can remove it, okay, not be a problem. You can remove it. Now you could see there is nothing, right? Now you try to run it. So every time it will be clean and it will be new folder will be created. Okay, now if you refresh it, you could see it got generated, right, freshly. No, no, no. Only TestNG is supporting that one. Here TestNG class, if you convert it, after that you can do it. So slowly you can get lot of things. Okay, now, okay, yeah. So those part will be covered in the upcoming topics only. That your question, most of the question will be covered. Okay. So in the Java class, it will not generate any report. So here it is already there, right? Let's remove it. Test output folder. Okay. And let's try to run the Java class. So yesterday we have already created that session, right? 7. So it will be opening Google page. It will enter Haradhan A. It will select the Haradhan automation library. Okay, and that is the way it executed. But it will not generate any report. Right here, you could see here there is no report. Right, pass, fail, all this stuff is not coming. Okay, and also if you refresh the project, there will be still no output folder will be generated. Okay, but in case you are running in a TestNG class, then only it will be generated. Okay, because you need to change it, right, with the help of @test annotation. So once you convert the project, then you can also change it. Okay, but until you are converting it, that might be tough. because here it is starting with the Java, na. Forget about all this stuff because this part is there. So that might be the challenge. Because it is a Java, it is running from the public static void main method. But here at TestNG there is no concept of public static void main method at all. It will consider the annotation which is at the rate test. As and when at the rate test present, it will be considered the test case and then it will be generating the report. Yeah, any other questions, anyone? All good, guys? Okay, cool. Yeah, let's comment out this part because that is not required always. So next session you can get to know how the what is the importance of this part. Okay. So here let's cut it. Okay. Now you could see here my 3 test cases available, right? So if you run, it will be 3 test cases. Okay, 3 test case pass fail. But say I having n number of test cases, but sometime, right, I don't want to run a particular test case or 2 test cases. But I'll not be removing them from here, right, or I will not be commenting also. So how can I disable the test cases, right, from the execution? So in the TestNG also providing the option called enabling or disabling a test case. So TestNG provides an attribute for enabling or disabling a test cases. There are many times when user don't want to run any particular test, and it is not also better to way to remove the whole test method from the class, and then again in case user want to run the test. So what is the thing? So by default, in case you are not giving anything here, it will be treated as enabled equal to true, means test case is enabled, right, or enabled equal to true. Okay, so you can make it enabled equal to false so that that particular thing will be, right, discarded or not be executed from here. So what we can do, in case you are not mentioning anything, so automatically it will take enabled equal to true. Okay, so in case you are giving that or removing that, it is still same. So test case number 3 also still same, means blank means it is also enabled equal to, means it is enabled for the execution. But in case you want to disable something, so you need to make enabled equal to false here. That is the way at the test level. Now here 3 test cases there, so it is enabled equal to will be executed, and for the second one, third one, it is nothing is mentioned. So by default it is also take enabled equal to true, and only second test case is enabled equal to false, so it will not be executed. Okay, so that way my test case will be there. I no need to comment out, remove it out, but still it will not be executed. It will be simply ignored. You could see now 2 test case got executed, test 1 and test 3. Why test 2 not executed? Because it's enable equal to false. So that is the way you can do the enabling or disabling. So nothing means automatically it is enabled equal to true. So in case you want to skip or kind of discard any test case execution from the suite, you need to make it enabled equal to false. Then test case priority and sequential execution. Say I already mentioned, right, just for the starting for the login, then product search, all this part, because here your execution will start based on the alphabetical order. Okay, what order you are keeping it, that does not having impact. Suppose say here I am mentioning like, okay, B test 1 and then A test 2 and say C test 3. So what way it will be executed? Can anyone tell me which test case will be executed first? Yeah, because it is alphabetically the first word is A, which is coming between B and C, right? So it does not matter where sequence you are putting it, but it will be executed based on the right alphabetical order of the method name. Okay, now let's try to run it and let's see. You could see the ordering, right? Here. But in case say your login is alphabetical order is second, right? And your product search is first. So it will first try to execute the product search, but until your login is happen, how product search will happen? So all your test case will be fail. That is the reason if you make like login as a 1, then product search is 2, then payment 3, return 4, then there will be no impact. So that is also possible. The credit is called prioritization and sequential execution using TestNG. Okay. Yes. Based on the class, right? Yeah. No, it will be following the class level first. Then it will be within the class you can give the priority. Okay. So I'll be letting you know how to do the priority. Okay. So one second. Anyone is having any questions? Yeah. Right. Based on the class name. Right. Based on the not the alphabetical order, based on the thing I'll be covering it in the TestNG XML file. You need to give the class name. Because TestNG it will be generated by TestNG XML file where whatever order you are giving it, that is the order it will be executed. Okay. So in any automation project, most of the time testers are required to configure test suite to run test method in a specific sequence, or user must give precedence to certain test method over other. TestNG allow user to handle scenario like this by providing a priority attribute within @test annotation. By setting the value of this priority attribute, user can maintain the order of the test method as per their need. So what you can do here, suppose say I want to execute. Are you able to hear me, guys? Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm sharing it. Yeah, sharing it. Somehow uh, dropped. Maybe I have clicked on that close button, might be. Are you able to see it now? Okay. Yeah. So what I need to do, yeah, right. So what I need to do here, suppose say this one, right, I want to execute it fast. So what I can do here, I can give priority equal to 1. Okay. And then maybe test 2 I want to execute second. I can keep priority as 2, and here I can give the priority as 3. Now it will be executed based on a test 1, test 2, test 3 like that. That is the way. So it will take only the numeric value. Priority equal to will be numeric value. Okay. You could see here order will be 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So that priority will be exactly same word. Priority. In case you are changing it to P, it will throw you the error. So it should be exactly P word. And the value will be, it can will be only numeric value. In case you are giving it decimal also, it will not work. Only numeric, it can contain 0 and negative sign as well. So in case you are giving negative sign, whenever you are giving priority, it is not like that you have to give sequential. No, lowest priority will be executed first, then highest, and then toppest highest. So that is the way. In case you are giving it minus 2, so that will be executed first. And in case for someone you are removing the priority, so what will take, it will be taking the priority default which is 0. So what will happen here, that will be executed first, and that will be executed second, and that will be executed third, because this is the minus 2 is lowest here, and here for the third test case there is no priority, means it is by default it is 0, and here for the first test case it is 1, so it will be executed last. Let's see. So priority can be negative to positive including 0 also, and in case you are not giving anything, it will be 0 by default. So you could see now here it should be executed first, and then priority, there is no priority for test case 3, test 3 it will be executed second 0, and then priority 1 is the highest one, it will be executed third. So that is the way you can do the priority also. In case the question will come, say suppose say I have having 2 or 3 test cases having same priority, then what will happen for them? In case some test cases having same priority, then for these test cases alphabetical order they will again consider. Alphabetical order will be considered. Suppose say today, right, you have created 5 test cases. You have given 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, you have 100 test cases like you have already given. Just basic example. Later point of time, right? Maybe in your application some changes came. Okay, and you need to add a test cases which will be your fast one. So is it possible to change everything? So that you can give it negative. That is the reason, right? In the general time, you should give some gap. So I used to give priority like 5, 10, 15, 20 like that. So in case something is coming in the meantime, I can give it 6. Okay. It is not like that I have to give 1, 2, 3. Generally, you need to give 5, 10, 15, 20. So you can give some gap. So that in case something is coming in the mediator, you can give it 6, 7 like that. So that will be executed in between. Otherwise, you need to change everything. All the sequence. So that is the way you need to apply some thought process. So down the line, and based on experience, you will be learning those part. Is it clear now, Deepika? Yeah. So all the point has been, yeah, all this point has mentioned also in the PPT. So just gone through whatever I have showed you. It's already mentioned here. Anyone? Any other questions? Anyone? Yeah. Lowest number, not negative. Lowest to highest. And in case you are not giving anything, any priority, so it will by default taking 0 priority. And in case suppose say multiple test cases having the same priority, so again those test cases will be again executed based on the alphabetical order. That might happen, right? Maybe 2 or 3 test cases having same priority, but those will be again go with the alphabetical order. Yes, right. Priority is the highest part. Then, in case same priority, then those test cases will go for the alphabetical order. Suppose say just 5 test cases is there. So you have given, right, 1, 2, 3, and let's say you have given two two test cases as priority 3 and 4. So what will happen? One will be executed, two will be executed. But 3 is having 2 test cases. So for the 3 priority, wherever alphabetical order is lowest, those test cases will be picked up first, and then second one, and then again it will be executed 4. So that is the way. Okay. So in case you are changing the priority to negative value, sorry, I mean any numeric value, or you are changing it to here, right? Okay, any other thing, it will show the error, and in case still you want to run it, right, forcefully, it will be throwing the error. Okay. Hmm. Alphabetical order means the method name here. Yes, this is the method name it will take. Right, alphabetical order of the method name. So here you have given a, right, first word only. In case again first two word is same, so again go for the third word. That is how it will check. In case suppose say here everything is same, then anything will be different, right? Otherwise your test method name will be unique. It will throw the error. Your test method cannot be same. It should be unique. So at least some difference will be there. Maybe in the last point also. So suppose say I have removing the a part, I am removing that c part. So here test is common, but here 2 and 3 is not unique. So 2 is coming first, and then 3 is coming second. Right? Yeah. So based on the I should say that lowest to highest, alphabetical order, or it can be numeric order also. Numeric also from the lowest to highest. Okay. You can say ascending order, I could say. Okay. Ascending order. Alphabet or numeric. Yeah. Any other questions, guys, from any of the topics covered so far? Because this is very important, guys. Okay, TestNG, all the session now, right? Please do not skip a single session. Okay, I already told remaining 4 classes will be only on 4th Sunday. Okay, So please plan accordingly for next 4 session. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. TestNG I already show, right? It's one of the framework already. TestNG itself is a framework, and definitely we can create lot of framework like data driven, keyword, hybrid, BDD, all this part. But where we can use either developed framework is JUnit or TestNG. These are already developed framework. Okay, so you can use their features. Anyone? Any other questions? I'm not able to hear you guys. Sorry, who is speaking? Yeah, can you go a bit loud? So you will be creating your own test cases, right? Maybe say you can create a class, right? No, 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 no. I'm not able to get your question. So in case suppose say you're maybe you're having want to have some field level validation, right? You are saying that I want to validate whether that is already taking. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, this will be your test. Yeah, yeah, that part I'll be covering it. Okay, no worry. Okay. So here I'll be covering it, and I'll be also covering that how to do the before test or after test. Let's go with that also. Okay, no, no worry. So here lights we have already implemented like say before method or after method, right? Let's go with that one. Let's take it. Let's see today only because I thought that I'll be covering it next session. Anyway, no worry. So here I'll be using like before method and after method, right? So what I'll be doing it in the before method, here I can change it to call setup. In the real time I'll be using called setup method. So where I'll be having the all the precondition. Okay, this is my setup method. Okay, so you could see the differences here. This is my setup method, right? Okay, and tear down method means I want to driver dot close. I need to use something called WebDriver called static. Can you go on mute please? Okay, in the real time. It will be tear down method. It is called tear down. Here instead of after method you can give it before test, and you can give it after test. So for every test it will be executed. Now you could see the differences. Okay, say I'll be creating couple of test cases here. So say I want my first test case will be, let's move the priority. Okay, say Facebook page. Okay, so here what I'll be doing it. Let's try to understand, guys. Okay, so say and I'll be creating another test case. So see the difference. So you could see how the difference. So I want to open two page. One is Facebook and one is Google page, right? So what you need to do in the initial time, I need to write all this stuff and then code and again write the driver for driver closing the driver. But here I am creating after test before test only one time. So what will happen, how many test cases is there for every test cases, right? Automatically this method will be called for every test cases. So I will be writing only that part. So that is the beauty of the TestNG. And let's comment out the other test case, because otherwise it will be opening the test thing. Let's copy it and let's comment out this part. Okay, now see you are having two test cases. So before test and after, sorry, before method and test is after test will be executing for every test cases in the real time also, right? In the real time whenever you will doing automation for every test cases, generally you should need to open the browser, you need to open the URL, you need to execute the test case, you need to quit the browser. Again for the other test case, again you need to launch the browser after killing all the cookies. So that way in the real time automation happens. It is not the functional one. Otherwise lot of thing might happen, contraction happen with automation, right? In case your some page is open, automation script might not able to recognize this part. That is the reason for every test case you need to open the browser and close the browser. That is the reason this will be called setup method and this called tear down method. Now you could see, let's try to run it and let's see the differences. You could see it's opening the browser based on the alphabetical order, it will be executed. Google page, because Google is coming might be fast, G app, right? And then it will close the browser and then your Facebook page will be coming. It is happening very fast, that is the reason. So you could able to see two test cases got executed, right? Here you are saying getting, right? And based on the alphabetical order, Google and Facebook. But I have written only one step here and one step here. The remaining is coming from the before test after test. So every time it will try to open the thing new fresh one. So that is the way here you will be writing the test case. Yeah, tell me. Yes, in the real life also you will be having that setup and tear down, right? Yeah, that is the reason we have the options called page object model concept, where we will be having the base class. And base class is having, right, all the important key methods, right? Which browser you want to launch, where, like which platform, all this stuff, whether you want to capture the screenshot, all this stuff. And every page class you need to extend that base class, so that all the property from the base class will be having the child class. So that is the concept of inheritance which will coming in the real time framework. Yes. Yeah, any other questions? Is it clear, guys? Whatever question you have asked, right? Some sort of thing you have got it in. Okay. Any other questions? So here I will let you know also the problem. Okay. So here, so Google will be executing first, right? Okay. And then say I want to, let's comment it out. So I want to open the Facebook page, right? And then in the Facebook page, let's what's happened. Whatever priority thing we are talking about, right? In the Facebook page I want to enter some value. Okay, this might be one another test cases. That is the way in the functional level also will be creating the test case. Let's whether see that whether Facebook page is opening or not, whether see that you are giving the ID password and it's opening or not. Again, right, you are want to write other stuff, other forgotten password is available and able to click or not. All this will be your unique test case in the real time. Maybe spin level, right, it will be granular level you are doing it, but same thing you can automate. So say this is the email, right? You want to add it something email. So say driver dot find element by dot id. send keys. So say I want to add send keys. Okay, so Facebook page should open first and then you need to add the thing, but here G will be coming first. So, okay, so until the Facebook page open, it will try to execute the test case. So here it will be failure, but there is no logical failure. So that is the reason, right? In the real time you need to give the priority. Okay, but definitely you are not remembering what is the way you can give it. In case you will be having 1000, maybe 100 test script. Okay, so it is getting passed. Okay, okay, face EF. Okay, F is coming fast. That is the reason it is executing. But say in case I am giving the method name called say Z, I am starting with Z. Okay, that will be executed last. Okay, somehow it's falling in sequence. That is the not creating problem. But what will happen now? Same code, but it will fail the test case. Why fail? It will show that it is not able to identify the element, something like that, right? No such element able to locate. Why? Because it is trying to execute fast, right? And then second one. But now if you just give the priority, like forget, you no need to change the method name, right? You can, because you know, anyone can give it anything. Priority equal to say 0, and here you can give it 1 or 2, like anything, maybe 5 or 10. You no need to give a sequence. That is not like that. Whatever is lowest, that will be executed first. Whatever is highest, that will be executed last. That's the simple logic. Now it will be good. Okay, so that is the way we can just go ahead with the execution in the real time framework implementation. Okay, then there's the assertion part. So what is assertion? So you already seen, right? Using the if else loop we can do some sort of verification point addition. But okay, so assertion in TestNG are used to verify whether the test is failed or not in TestNG framework. And in automation framework also, test case is considered to be passed only if all statement in test case executed successfully, and in case any exception is thrown or expected result does not match with actual result, then test case considered to be failed. So assertion are used to verify the statement and test cases in testing to decide whether test case pass or fail. So there are two type of assertion available. One is hard assertion, one is soft assertion. So in case of hard assertion, what the problem? So in case your any of the test method is getting fail, right? Immediately remaining line of code will be stopped. That is the problem. So you cannot always use the hard assertion for long run. But in case you want to just kind of debug the script, you can use the hard assertion. But for the real-time framework, it is not recommended to use the hard assertion. So there are a lot of assertion available in TestNG. Let's see in the real-time thing also. So where is that? So let's go with that SYSO driver dot get current URL. Okay. So what is the URL it will print? It will print it out in the console. So I will take it. Here it will be printed out in the real time. Okay, this is the current URL. So let's give some code here. So say code before assertion. Okay, and code after assertion. Okay, and here we will be trying to assert something. Okay, so what is the current URL is coming? We need to store some expected things. Say expected URL equal to what? This is my expectation. This URL should come, right? This is my expectation. Now what is coming, I'll be storing in some string equal to driver dot get current URL, right? That is the way I can store it, the string. So this is my expectation, and whatever is coming I'll be storing it here. Let's comment out this part also. Okay, now I need to do some assertion in the real time. So what I need to do, I need to call the assert class dot assert equals, right? You could see, so it is a string. I need to check with the string. Yeah, first one is the actual, second one is the expected. So actual URL and the expected URL. Now it will be passing, so there is no impact, right? It will execute the test case and it will pass the test case, and all your code will be executed. Okay, you could see there is two test case pass, and now if you go here, you could see code before assertion, code after assertion also executed, right? Because assertion is matching. This is the assertion. So that is the way in the real time also you'll be doing it. Whether it's displayed, whether it's enabled, right? Whether it's a radio button or text field, all this stuff you can do it. That is the way in the real time you'll be doing the assertion. Okay. Now say my expected thing I am failing simply. Okay. Okay. So that is the, it will fail now. I am expecting that one should be coming, but it is not coming at all. So it will fail my test cases. But what will happen? You could see the fail. What is failing? Right? You could see here. Expected was that part. I was expecting that, but actually is coming that. That is the reason it's failing. But what the problem? So in case the failure is happening here, after that no remaining code for that particular method will be executed. That is the problem. Okay. So you could see that only code before assertion came, but where is code after assertion? That part is not there, because as and when failure is coming through the hard assertion, immediately code will be stopped, execution will be stopped in the test cases. Now if you refresh the project, and so one test case will be failed. Right? Now see the difference of the failure test case. So you could see the output folder, emailable report, open with web browser. You should see one passed, one failed. So what is the failure reason? You could see here it's also coming. That is the beauty of the TestNG also. From the report itself you can get to know what is the problem, exact root cause is coming. Then you could understand easily, right? Expected was this, but coming this. So that is the reason in the test case is getting fail. Okay. So this is my failure 40 line number, right? So it will be giving you the thing that line number 14 it got failed. So that is the way you can debug it, right? Which line number it got fail also, what the class number, all this stuff, what the method, what the package, then you can get to know easily and you can fix your code. So that is called hard assertion. But hard assertion is always not recorded in the real time, because in case problem is happening, right, your execution will be stopped there and remaining line of code not be executed. But right, maybe some minor issue was there, maybe text field was right disabled, maybe it is coming as enable, all this stuff happen, but it is not blocker. But I can still proceed the execution, I will still try to execute all the remaining thing, and I can still try to find out the defect, right? That might be the problem thing happen. But here it will be completely blocking the test case. That is the reason it is not always recommended, right, to use the hard assertion. So what we can do, we can use soft assertion. So what is soft assertion? So to deal with the disadvantage of hard assertion, customized error handler provided by TestNG is called soft assertion. So soft assertion allow user to have multiple assertion within a test method. Even when assertion fails, the test method continues with the remaining test execution. The result of all the assertion can be collated at the end by using soft assert dot assert all. So what we can do, first we need to create a object or instance for the soft assert class. So I need to import that soft asset class here. Then I can call SA dot assert equal. So again the same method will be coming. I can go with the string, right? Actual URL, expected URL. Now it is failing, right? It should get failed, but expectation is 1, but 1 is not coming. But still it will not fail. Why? I will let you know. Let's start it first. Run it first. So it will test case will also not fail, though it is a real failure, because that it should not match, but still it will not fail the test case. Can anyone tell me no why it is not failing? So I have also already mentioned in the PPT also. I told why it is not failing, though it is a failure. Anyone give a try? So here test case should fail, right? Because expected it should not match with the actual, and I am using soft assertion, expected actual, but test case still it is getting passed. For the soft assertion, why it is not fail? So whenever you are using soft assertion, so one thing is that at the end of the code, right, for that particular thing, you need to use assert all. Okay, here even though the first assertion failed, still the test case will continue with the execution and print the message for the right. But unless you are using assert all, it will not be happen. So you need to at the end you need to use after all the code you need to use assert all. That method you need to call it using the soft assert object. Now test case will be failed. But here the failure is happening, but remaining line of code will be still be executed. That is the beauty of the soft assertion. But for the hard assertion, as and when test case is getting failed, it will stop the execution immediately. But for the soft assertion, though your test case is failed, but it will still continue the execution for the remaining line of code. That is the two difference of the hard and soft assertion. You could see one failure. What is the reason? Same reason only, right? Because found this and expected this, and same number it will get failed. But you could see that code after assertion, that line which is after the assertion still got executed. So soft assertion will not stop the execution. It will only fail that particular step, but remaining line of code can still be executed. Okay? So that is the importance of these two type of assertion. Yeah. At the end, right? At the end of that particular thing, yes. Otherwise it will still not fail the test case though your thing is getting failed. So that is the way they have developed at the end of the line, right? Yeah, code. Yeah, yeah, it will be for method specific, right? Yes, yes. Any other questions, guys? Okay, cool. So I'll simply comment this line of code here. I will take my existing code for this three part. And I also comment this part. So this is my three test cases. Now I'll go to the next topics. What is depends on method? So I already told, right? In case your login is not successful, there is no point of executing the remaining one, right? So that thing. Similarly, suppose in case previous session, right? In case your Facebook page is not opening at all, there is no point to enter the value. So that is the way, right? So that you can add something called dependent. Okay, so that your in case first thing is not working, second thing instead of failing it, it will be skipped simply. So dependence is feature in test case in TestNG that allows a test method to depend on a single or group of test method. This will help in executing a set of tests to be executed before a test method. Method dependency only work if depends on method is part of the same class or any of the inherited base class. So what will be happening? Suppose say I have three test cases, right? You can remove the priority also, not be a problem. Let's keep the priority, that's fine. So suppose say I here it will be executed first. right? It will be executed second and it will be executed third. So that particular test 3 I want to make it dependent in the test case 1, so that in case it is a failing, right, it will not be executed. In case it is passing, it will be executed. So what I need to do, I need to use something called depends on method, right, comma depends on, you can just simply add it and depends on method. Here you need to give double bracket and in double quote, and here you need to give within the double quote the method name. Okay, now the test case 3 is not fail, so test case 1 also will be executed, though it is dependent, right, it will executed. Okay, you could see there is 3 pass, right, but in case I am failing the test case 3, say assert dot assert equal, right, I can give some assertion failure, right, maybe 10 and 11, so it is fail, right, assert equal not matching, 10 and 11 not matching, so it will be fail. So but that is dependent here on that one, so here it is fail, so there is no point of failing it. Instead of that, I can simply skip it, right? So let's try to see whether it is, instead of failing, it is getting simply skipped. You could see one fail, one skipped, and one passed. Why it is getting skipped? Because your dependent test case got failed, so it will not execute the test case other wherever other dependent test case got failed. That is the beauty of the dependency. Okay, you could see that failed. Why is the failure reason? Expected 11 coming 10. That is the reason. Only pass and fail is coming. Other test case got skipped here. You could see that is a sign. Pass is green tick mark, right? It is red cross mark and it is yellow cross mark for the skipped one. Why it is skipped? If you click here, if you copy the TestNG trace, you could understand the reason. Okay, that depends on successfully finished. That is the reason it got skipped. Suppose for the failure one, right, you can simply right click here and you can also copy the TestNG trace or copy the only the message part, right, so that it will get you the only problem wherever it is getting fail. You could see only the message where it is fail, exact reason you are able to get it. Assertion error, expected 11 and 10 found 10. So this will only give you the exact one, and test engine test bin complete log it can get it for the failure or the skip part from the test engine. Now next question will come, right, though my dependency is getting failed, still I want to execute the test cases. Sometimes say, right, you already seen the try catch and finally block. So try catch block will be only in case some exception is coming, it will be handled. In case it is not coming, no, it is full. One second, is it clear now? Yeah, maybe some. Okay, okay, okay. So right, in case your some of the test case you want to make it dependent, suppose say you are having already mentioned like login page searching product, or maybe right, and then you're making the payment and then returning the product, but in case your login is not successful, there is no point of executing the searching product, or in case search is not successful, there is no point of making the right, executing that return or the making payment, because otherwise you will also fail. So that is the reason we will make something called dependent, so that your previous method is getting failed, right, the remaining steps or remaining method, instead of failing it, they will be simply skipped, but in case passed it will be executed, in case failed that will be simply skipped. Okay, but sometime, right, I still need to execute that other test cases. Suppose say I right, I need to quit the browser, close the browser every time, though my thing is not working, but still I need to close the browser. So that is the reason still I need to execute the test cases. Here in case dependent is test case is failed, that test case will be simply skip, but still in case that test case you want to forcefully execute it, what you need to do, you need to make always run attribute equal to true, so that it does not matter whether your dependent test case is getting failed or passed, so it will be always executed. So here I'll be mentioning always run equal to true. Okay, so it will be always executed though it is pass or fail. Though it is fail here, still it will be executed. It is pass, definitely will be executed. Run as. You could see. Now test1 got executed because it's always run attribute equal to true. But in case it is a pass, definitely that will be no impact at all. All the test case will be executed. So in case you want, though your dependent test case is getting failed, but you want to execute the other test case which is dependent on the failure, so you have to use always run equal to true. Otherwise, in case of failure, whatever test case is dependent on the failure test case, it will be simply skipped instead of execution. It will not be executed. Pass or fail, forget about that. It will not be executed. So in case you still want to execute, you have to make always run attribute equal to true. Any questions? Guys, it is clear? Okay. Anyone? Any other doubt? Because this is the very critical item, guys. Okay. In case you are not able to understand, I will repeat. There is no harm at all. So yeah, so do the practice, guys. So this is the opportunity, right? Until you are practicing it, I'll be able to give with all the possible thing. So that is the reason your video will be there. Okay, so here I am trying to cover with the real-time example most of the thing. Okay, that part you will not be getting it, but PDF will your base version where I have tried to in single very minimal word I have tried to cover the main objective of each and every topic. Then there are two couple of stuff called invocation count, invocation timeout, and skip field invocation. So suppose say I want to execute a single test case again and again and again. So what is the possible way? One second, let's do it. Yeah. So what is the in case I want to execute the same test case again and again and again, right? What is the way I can do it? So I cannot copy the same code 10 times 20 times like that. So what will happen in case my test case got changed, tomorrow I need to again change all my test cases, right? That is the problem will happen. Suppose say here I copy 20 times, I can do it also, not be a problem. But instead of 20 times it can be 21 22 times. Suppose say I have copied it, but tomorrow instead of that, I want to add one more validation point. So then again it will be impacted, right? All this stuff will be impacted. Now in case I want to simply execute any test cases multiple time, then what I can do? So here you can simply give it invocation count equal to 5. Okay, so that particular test case will be executed 5 times. I already told, right? Sometime you need to create the same data again and again, maybe 10 times 20 times. So that same test case you can simply run it right after giving the invocation count equal to 5 10 20 like that. So same thing will be executed in number of time with the help of the invocation count. Now you could see the difference. Total 3 test cases, but total run is 7 because one test case run for 5 times. You could see here. Here 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5. Right? But the question will come. But in case your test case is getting fast, that is fine. You can execute n number of time. Suppose you want to create some data, so you can execute it, and every time it will create the data. But in case suppose say in a particular test case they are having 100 step, and in 99 step test case is getting failed and your data is not getting generated. So in case you are giving invocation count as 20, so 20 time it will execute and it will spend the time, and at the end of the day no result will be generating. So I want to stop the execution, right, in case of any failure, because same test case will be executing only. So every time it will be fail in case of any functional error. So let's do it here. So give any assertion failure, right? So here it is a very small. You will not able to identify the impact. But in case it's a very 100 line of code, every iteration it might take 5 seconds, so 5 minutes time. So 20 minutes you need to spend simply 1.5 hour or 2 hour time. But every time it will fail only. But those failure I want to stop in case of any failure, right? You could see for 5 failure same reason only, right? Expecting 12 coming as 10 like that. Okay, if you go here, all are failed, right? All 1 of 5, 2 of 5 all fail. But in case of failure, right, I want to simply stop it. Only I want to fail one time, and remaining time I don't want to execute the same task. I want to simply skip it. So what is that way? You have do something called skip failed invocation. It is a boolean value, you can give it true. So what happened? It will only execute one time, and remaining iteration in case of failure it will be simply skipped. You could see now the differences. It failed only one time, but remaining time it will don't want to execute because it is same reason you know. My skip knows. So remaining thing they don't want to waste the time. Instead of that, simply they will be skipping. And now I modify my thing, right? I will update my skip. Now it is passed. So now it will not having an impact. Every 5 time it will be executed, and 5 time it will be passed. So that is the way. These are the two things. Very very important, guys. In the interviewer also might ask the question from this area. Okay. Then last part I will be covering from today's test session, how to convert a TestNG project. And here you try to see the differences. Here it is coming default suite and default test, and then package name to the class name, then the method name. But here I am not able to change the suite name or test name in case I am running it from the test level. This is called TestNG test, right? There is no way to changing that suite name or the test name. So what I can do, right? The next slide will let you know how to convert, right, test suite in TestNG. So what you can do, you can create normal TestNG class, n number of TestNG class also, okay. And then let's go with another thing. Let's try to create one more TestNG class. Say TestNG session 8. This is the another class, okay. So here I can create a method called test4. I can give some body here. Then the questions might come, right? Is it possible to run all your TestNG class at the same time? Until here it is no, because only you can able to run only one TestNG class. Right here you could see this is passed. Again you need to go to the other TestNG class, but again it will be default suite and default test, right? And you can only run one by one all the class. But there is no option, right, to run all the TestNG class in the same time. It is also TestNG test only. Normal Java class is Java application, run as Java application will be coming, and this TestNG test. Now I can convert the whole project to a TestNG. Right click here, TestNG, convert to TestNG. Right here you can give some suite name, change name, and here it is coming, right? Wherever TestNG is there, you can just simply select them, TestNG related class, and click on finish. Now you could see there is a testng.xml file will be created. Open it. Here it is not required. Wherever testng is there, those part will be considering. So this is the syntax. Okay, first will be suite, then test, then classes. Under the classes tag, you can have n number of testng class. What is the syntax? Package name dot the class name. Package name dot the class name. You can have again n number of package also. You can create one more package called say package called say training 1, right? And here you can create one more class, TestNG class, say training 1 TestNG class, like that. Okay, and here you can create one method called test5. Okay, you can give something called, sorry, here test5. Okay, and you can change it also here test5, that is not the correct one, test4. Okay, now whatever way you can add it in the TestNG XML file, you can simply copy it and you can add one more line, and here you can give the first training name, package name training1, and the next one is the class name. That is the way in the TestNG.xml file you can add n number of class from the n number of package from the same project. Okay, now here you could change the suite name here. So I can give the suite name called TestNG suite and also TestNG test. That name I can change it, TestNG test. Now if you want to run it from the TestNG XML file, you will be getting the option called TestNG suite. So what is suite? It's combination of multiple class. So I am not running at the class level. Instead of that, I want to run all the class at the same time. That is the beauty of the TestNG, which is not available in the other way. Now you could see all the thing will be executed based on the order whatever you have given here. Okay. Now you could see. So this is the first thing I have given. So TestNG session 8. So this is the 4 method is getting executed first. Okay, then what I have given? I have given TestNG session 8. So all the classes will be executed here 5 time and the remaining 1 time, right? And then last I have given, what I have given? I have given TestNG training TestNG class. So what is the method? Test5. It is executing last. So total 9 class, 9 method executed from the 3 class. And now if you go here, you could see the beauty. So suite name I have changed based on the name whatever I have given. You could see this is the name I have given, suite name. So now it got changed. Test name it got changed. Then it is the package name dot the class name, and this is the test name method name. Again package name dot the class name for the other class. All the method name. Again package name dot the class name, and again method name. If you go to the summary, there is no fail test as well. If you go to the summary, you could see 3 class executed, 9 method executed. Now if you go here, refresh the project, and again go to the test output folder. If you just simply open it, web browser, you could able to see here, right? Total 9 method executed, 9 pass, total time, and this is the class package name to the class name is the method name, package name the class name, method name, package name, method name, class name. So that is the way it will generate the report. So that is the way, in case you want to have multiple class and you want to execute them at the same time, you need to first convert it to the TestNG XML file, and from the TestNG XML file it will be suite, then test, and the classes tag. Under the classes tag you can have n number of class, right? It will be package name to the class name, and then you can need to enclose to it classes tag, test tag, and suite tag. That is the way you can have your, yeah, n number of test case. Not sure what is happening. I'm working from the same thing only. Is it clear or now? And then I need to check why it is breaking, because 3 to 4 time you are saying it's breaking. I need to check it also. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe fluctual second might be having the problem. Not sure. I need to check it also. Okay. So I'll just recapture one more time. Then I will take for any questions, guys. Okay. Yeah. So testing is nothing but like I just give me a couple of minutes. I will just complete it. Then I will take for the question. So it is like testing the next generation. It is JUnit inspired framework. Initially, JUnit came into the market with lot of features, primarily used by JUnit by the development team for the unit testing. But now, using JUnit with the added advantage, added feature, TestNG came into the market, right? And it can be used for functional end-to-end integration testing. So test using TestNG, there are different assertions available. We can pass or fail the test cases. We can add some validation point. We can run our test case in parallel. We can make the dependency. We can prioritize the test. We can grouping the test. We can run same test case again and again with variety of the data. or maybe some multiple test case we can run into same set of parameter, and we can have beautiful report also. So we need to go to the Eclipse marketplace options. We need to search the TestNG. We need to install the TestNG. It's a one-time activity for the Eclipse. We need to restart the system. After the TestNG is installed, we need to go to the project, right? We need to associate that library, TestNG library, to the project. Then we can create the TestNG class, right? Automatically by default @test annotation will be there. We can create a method, then we can have it, so that as and when you are running a TestNG class, option will be like run TestNG test. Okay, then you can have n number of test cases. So @test annotation will be considered as a test cases, but different annotation or metadata like before test, after test, before class, after class, it is a supporting thing, right? It will be executed, right, every before, after, shoot, class, method level or test level. Okay, so that is a sequence: before shoot, before test, before class, before group, before method, test, method, after group, after class, after test, after shoot, like that. In TestNG, in case you are writing so many methods but you don't want to remove them, but you want to disable some of the execution, you can mention enable equal to false, so that test case will be disabled from the execution, right? But you no need to remove it. And sometimes you need to prioritize the test cases, because test case execution order happen based on the ascending order, right, alphabetical or the numeric order. But in case still you want to make the priority change, right, you can give the priority equal to the numeric value. It can be negative to the positive one. So lowest one will be executed first and highest one will be executed last. In case no value is there, it will take the default value called 0. There are two type of assertions for the validation point. One is the hard assertion, one is the soft assertion. So hard assertion, right, I mean, in case this case is failing, the remaining steps from that particular method will not be executed. But for the soft assertion, in case your test case is getting failed, right, it will not stop the execution, that step will be failed, but remaining line of code still will be executed. But at the end of the day, you need to use assert all method. You need to call the assert all method. So first you need to create a object or instance for the soft assert class, then you can add all kind of assertion. At the last you need to use assert all method. Depends on method, right? Sometimes, right, in case your previous thing is not working, right, you don't want to execute the remaining thing, so you can use depends on method. In case your the first test case is getting failed, your depends on test cases will be getting simply skipped. But if you still want to execute it, you need to make it like always run equal to true. Then you can use invocation count. In case same test case you can execute, want to execute 5 times, 10 times, you can use invocation count equal to true. But in case of failure, right, all the test cases will fail, so that better to use skip fail invocation, so that in case of failure, remaining invocation will be simply skipped instead of failure. So that way you can save the time. And after that, you are creating normal Java project, still you can convert it to TestNG project. So you need to convert it using TestNG options, right, so that you can give the shoot name, test name, and then you can give the under the classes tag, you can have n number of package and n number of classes, so that right from the testng.xml file you can run using TestNG shoot, so that all your right test classes and different methods from the different packages will be executed right at the same time. So that's all from today's session, guys. We'll continue the remaining TestNG important topics in the next session. Thank you.